I'll be discussing the key details behind Operation Quenda and how we just bagged one of the most exciting wingers in European football. We talk the future surrounding Jadon Sancho, predicted lineups against Arsenal, plus more transfer news and club news. So I'm going to be speed rolling through news, so you guys can't afford to miss out on what's going on. Show some love, hit that like button. Let's try and get 1,500 likes for the video today. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. And let's get straight into things. We're finally learning some key details behind this Jadon Sancho obligation to buy a move at the end of the season. Now, as we know, when we signed Sancho on loan, there was a conditional obligation to buy attached to that loan spell. That condition essentially was, as long as we are above 15th place in the league, then this deal becomes an automatic deal in which we will pay around £25 million to secure the services of Jadon Sancho. However, courtesy of David Ornstein, who responded in his Q&A segment in The Athletic, it seems like the conditional aspect behind this deal really is conditional, because he reveals that actually there is a penalty fee that can be paid to break out of having to sign Sancho on a permanent deal. He does say afterwards, though, that all parties aren't really looking to, create that type of future just yet. Let's keep things real. We don't really have any loyalties like that. The summer window is approaching the next few months, and there are a lot of exciting names and options we're looking at in the market. So nothing will stop us from ending this deal for Jadon Sancho, especially if we do secure Champions League football. That penalty fee is not going to be 10 million or 15 million. It's going to be a very small fee, which we will happily exercise if we have better options available in the summer. The future around Jadon Sancho looks a bit iffy. I kind of sympathize for him though, because I do feel like most wingers haven't necessarily excelled on a consistent basis, even like high flyers like Noni Madueke. He's also had dips during the season. And to be fair, when I'm seeing our wingers getting 2v1s in most games, it is quite hard to find that possibility to create, play your game, and have that space and freedom to do your thing. With Sancho, his footwork is his key attribute. That's how he beats his man. That's his dribbling style. On top of that, he likes to roam in and out of positions, which is something that he can't really do, as he's got a very disciplined role down the left-hand side. The thing that hurts him is that he can't be a man for pace. That is the thing that he just does not possess. And is it any surprise that recently, with all the young wingers we're looking at, they possess stupid pace, explosive pace, and that is a key difference in the Premier League. So listen, Sancho's future hasn't been decided just yet. He can still make things happen for himself, but I think he has to be a bit braver, actually. I think he has to attempt more things in game. He has to be afraid of failure. He's a bit too clinical in what he's doing right now, which maybe reflects the confidence he has in game right now. I'm not too sure. But there's a moment for him now to really just step up in this team, especially with Arsenal tomorrow. If he steps up before the season ends, then who knows if he safeguards his future with us. How do you guys feel about this news? Let us know below. Now we discuss the latest around Dario Essugo. As we are learning, the club are very confident that they've reached a €22 million agreement to sign Essugo from Sporting Lisbon. But learning from Romano, as he tweeted in a very specific manner, Essugo has said yes to Chelsea and Blue Co's project. I think the involvement of Blue Co in Romano's tweet is a big statement. It's a big admission. And that's because many of us have expected him to join Strasbourg on loan for next season. He will act as that Andre Santos replacement. I think the kid has a lot of promise. The fee we're paying for him is not too bad. I'm not opposed to that. I don't think he's ready for the step up right now. I think we have other players in midfield like Lavia and Santos who are better than him at this point in time. But he's an interesting player to keep an eye out for, considering he's part of our network under Blue Co. The player has said yes to joining us. That's a big positive. And I'm sure the confirmation will come out very, very soon. But yet again, there won't be any add-ons or sell-on clauses attached in this deal. Sporting Lisbon are set to receive around €75 million straight for two players. Like straight money. No clauses over time or anything like that. So maybe this is why they were so open and keen on selling Quenda to us for a reduced amount. Now it's time to talk predicted lineups. And you guys have seen my lineup on screen. Up front, Pedro Neto continues that role. He's been so key for us as he allows us to press with intensity up top. And when Nico was out and when Maresca didn't really find out or figure out who the striker was going to be, we did suffer and we had 2 really bad games against Brighton. So Neto up front, it has been good for us. I feel a bit frustrated for him though, because at times it feels like it's more his endeavour and work rate that is being prioritised over his quality. I thought his last game he kind of struggled a bit in terms of on-ball quality, but hopefully against Arsenal, a team he got the equaliser against this season, he does step up. In behind, Nkunku on the left, Palmer behind, and Sancho down the right-hand side. I feel like Sancho's look a bit brighter playing down the right-hand side. And Nkunku on the left means that he can play in those pockets and hopefully showcase a bit of goal threat and a bit more something right now. Obviously, you guys know that I sympathise with Nkunku, but I still want to see something from him, and I'm not really seeing as much from him at the moment. And obviously, Cole Palmer, I just hope that maybe Palmer just simplifies this game a little bit. Don't force it. You don't have to be the Steven Gerrard of the team, where you're the only decider behind us getting 3 points or not. If there's moments to play a ball to find a teammate in a better position, please do that. Please do that, because I have been a little bit frustrated with a few selfish moments from Palmer in recent games. I get he wants to find his form back, but listen, bro, don't force these things. These things will naturally come back. Keep it simple, and I promise your form will be back just like that. Naturally, Enzo, Moises in behind, the only midfield players we do have. But defense is what I'm really excited for. I think this is our strongest defense. It's a shame that we haven't consistently been able to turn towards them. But in Cucurella, Colwell, Fofana, and Reece James, I feel like, if they can play more consistently together, this could potentially be, title contending, title challenging backline in the future. In this game, I have to see Reece James inverting in midfield. I don't think that should be Cucurella. I think that has to be Reece James because he adds a bit more bite and steel alongside Moises. By doing that, it allows Enzo Fernandez to push higher up and attack the box. And he has been really good at doing that this season. So I want to continue that type of balance. And in Cucurella and Fofana playing as like the wide centre-backs, Fofana has the quality to go 1v1 against any winger, as long as you're not Vinny Jr. I've not forgot that game against Real Madrid, but he's going to relish a battle against Martinelli. And I think Cucurella and Saka has always been a very engaging style 50-50 battle. It's been one of the best battles in the Premier League anytime these guys play. They have moments where one goes on top of the other, but let's hope that Cucurella can edge it out and try and control Saka a bit better tomorrow. And obviously, Levi Colwell in defence alongside Robert Sanchez, who is now going to be our number one if he can maintain that by not messing up anymore, as Maresca has confirmed. That's my predicted lineup. What are you guys thinking? Do you agree with this? Do you not? Comment below. Now it's time to discuss all the latest official news surrounding our signing of Geovany Quenda, and we can thank The Athletic for just clearing up a lot of information that was a bit contradictory. Now, I discuss multiple reports that came out from Portuguese outlets, not just one, like multiple outlets. I kind of confirmed that, we had paid over the 50 mil euros that was originally suggested at the start of yesterday. But that is not the fact, and it's great to get an official confirmation now about what has actually gone down. Now, what we've learned today is the club feel very proud of their capture of Quenda. And they actually confirmed something that I had said yesterday in my videos, where I said the top 3 wingers in football right now, for teen wingers in the game, is Yamal number 1, Esteval number 2, and Quenda number 3. And this is something The Athletic confirms, that the club actually view these 3 as the top under 23 wingers in the world right now. And we have 2 of these guys. We've captured 2 of them. So that is very exciting. We beat out Man United and Man City, who are the secret club, who are hoping to sneak a deal in for him. And we've been working on this deal for the last 2-3 months. And it's kind of funny because if we go back to some of the protests, a lot of us were a bit frustrated by our continued pursuit of teen talents. And since then, we've signed Denner, We've signed Quenda, signing Essugo, and we did sign Amadou from Strasbourg. So, hey, it's not the best start. Hopefully this summer we add a little bit of experience, especially up front and in other areas. But to move on, the club are particularly happy at the incredible discount they were able to buy Quenda for. Now, the reason behind this was our willingness to allow him to remain at Sporting for a further 12 months. This was the key negotiation tactic which allowed us to beat our rivals to a signature. And the discount is massive. Yes, Quenda does have a 100 million release clause in his contract when he signed his contract extension, but Sporting were hoping to realistically receive an amount around 60 million euros. This means that we have officially paid 40 million pounds to sign Quenda. That's around 47.5 million euros. And there are no add-ons, there are no sell-on clauses attached whatsoever, which makes this an even better deal. And I love the fact that the club have, in my opinion, learned from their mistakes of yesterday, because during that infamous 22-23 transfer window in January, we signed so many players at the time that we didn't have to introduce to our team that early on. We could have deferred most of these deals to the summer window. Famously with Enzo Fernandez, there was an incredible battle between Igbali and Rui Costa, and in the end, Rui Costa accepted selling Enzo Fernandez for £88 million if they were allowed to keep him until the season ended. We said no to that and ended up paying an extra premium. And then we signed Enzo for around £106 million. I just think to myself, when he came to our football club in that 22-23 season, all he learned was how to lose. And we could have got a player in better form and better everything if we had just waited an additional, 5 months. So it's great to see that some lessons have been learned. But anyway, what was Maresca's involvement in this deal? His involvement was in reassuring Quenda about the position he was set to play in. Now, I've got a video that I've already made. I'm probably going to release it tomorrow after the Arsenal game. I'll be discussing the position I think Kenda's going to play, and spoilers, he will play as a left winger, number 1, and he'll play as a right winger, number 2. The combined force of Maresca, Winsley and Stewart convinced Quenda and reassured him that he will play in a 1v1 role as a winger. And this was something that Amorim could not assure the player, who still had hopes to use him as a wingback. But as I said in yesterday's videos, that isn't his key position. And there's a reason why he isn't playing there anymore. Now, going to United. United reportedly were very close. That was true. But they were hoping to engineer a move in the summer. But key things worked against them. Number 1, at the time, they were working alongside Sporting Lisbon's valuation of the player, which was set at 60 million euros. After that, of course, as we're learning, United are in penny pincher mode. That asking price was just too much for them. And when they learned that Sporting Lisbon ideally wanted to keep him for a further 12 months, due to FFP concerns and the fact that they can't splash big money on a player that they can't turn to until 12 months later, they had to just leave this deal. And this made a big opening for us. So that's officially the story we've learned today. Thank you to The Athletic for breaking this information down. And this is how we secured one of the top 3 under-23 wingers in the world. And that's what the club feel like they've got in Geovany Quenda. So I'm going to be releasing my reaction analysis on him later tonight. Stay tuned for that. It's already done. And you guys, share your thoughts and opinions behind this massive story. And finally, to end things, let's talk Kendry Paez, because we got some pretty interesting information from The Athletic in terms of the position that Kendry is set to play in. And they revealed that he is set to become Enzo Fernandez's understudy, which simply implies he'll play the 8/10 hybrid role, which makes the most sense. Now, for Independiente, he did start out playing on the right wing, but later on, he was forced more as a number 8 in midfield when they moved to using a 3-5-2 system with wingbacks. Obviously, Paez doesn't have that type of explosive pace. He isn't that style of player. And it did take him a bit of time to get used to that position. It was a bit longer based on Paez acclimatizing to his newfound fame in Ecuador, but he's since got over that. He's since matured. And for me, I think this, in my opinion, is the best use of Paez in the future. When you have these fast pacey outlets out wide, I want to have those combination playmaker style players, you know. Can Paez become our Vitinha? Can Paez become our Bernardo Silva? We've never typically had this type of player in our club's history too often, but I think a player like this, alongside the attacking talents we have, could be a really complementary force going into the future. Now, Kendry Paez today is set to return to Independiente. They have a game tomorrow night at 6 p.m. He might not be playing. He hasn't actually played a game of football since the Under-20 South American competition back on the 1st of February. Since then, he has already been in London. He has been starting his adaptation periods, acclimatizing to life with Maresca, the team, and life in London. And we are hoping to continue that before he's officially able to be registered once he turns 18. Now, he turns 18 in May, and most likely he'll be part of our squads for this summer's Club World Cup. So that's going to be very exciting to see. There's still no clarity behind whether he may get loaned out to Strasbourg or whether he remains with us. For myself, I'd love him to remain here. I think having the Spanish-speaking contingency, keeping their arm around him, getting them used to life here and being a bit closer to the team would actually help him better than going straight to another European country where you don't even speak French. It's just like, what's the point of acclimatizing to life in London when you're going to go straight to France in a few months? Let's see what the final resolution is set to be. In my opinion, it's probably an ever-evolving one, which depends on many moving parts, what we're doing in the summer, how he performs in training, what he does in the Club World Cup, so on and so forth. But my friends, that's pretty much it for the news today. Share your thoughts and opinions behind all these big stories. How do you feel about the direction that things are starting to shape up now in the summer? Are you feeling a bit more confident around the direction of the club right now? Or are you still quite apprehensive because this model is something that still doesn't give you the most confidence? Let us know. Give your final thoughts on that. And yeah, my guys, that's me today. See you guys later tonight. Cool.